Sorry about that. Don't know why it started up again. Anyways, hello, family. How are all you doing today, huh? How are you, Eli brother? How are you, David brother? How are you, CR brother? Let's see here. How you doing, Lukem brother? How you doing, Shire? And how are you doing, Dutch Fly? Well, anyways, I'm glad that everybody's doing good. I'm ecstatic for that. So, anyways, a lot of people now in the quote unquote prepper survival community and everything are now doing real life, well, not real life scenarios, but what if scenarios. Like a really good YouTube channel and everything that I've been subscribed to for a long time. I'm not going to say the name, but he's a really good old country boy from, North Carolina. He's done a lot of stuff. But he just posted a video about having a bug out vehicle, right? How many times have I said that on my live streams and, videos about having a bug out vehicle, because a bug out vehicle is going to be your secondary home in case you ever do have to leave your house. And it's all good, Eli. It's all good, brother. But, having a bug out bag is only one part of the problem. It's one part of your salvation. One out of 50 other things that you're going to have to do. Eli. But the thing is if you are planning, and a lot of these bigger mainstream survival channels are going to lead you down the wrong path. They are, because they're doing what they want you to hear. They're not doing what they are actually doing. Just like the channel that I've been subscribed to for a long time, he told people not to get an RV. He told people not to get a trailer or a pull behind camper, because that makes you a target if you wish to leave. And to tell you the truth, it's not going to make you a target. Any kind of vehicle is going to make you a target. Any kind of, even prepping in general. What's up, CR? Shire brother. Yeah, I know, Eli, I know. And this is why I do this stuff. And it's easier to make a video and say what you want to say and not actually handle the fears of real people that want to prep, that want to try to learn how to survive. Because there is thousands and thousands and thousands of what if scenarios in anything. There is a shitload of problems to the cons. There's a shitload of cons to the pros in survival, prepping, all that stuff. Hey Dale, how you doing, brother? Oh, I got you, Eli. I got you, brother. I always need a good set of hands around. But the thing is a lot of these survival channels are fearmonger channels. They are making people fear instead of teaching. And in reality, it doesn't matter how big of a vehicle you have. It doesn't matter how, how much stuff you have. In the end, it's how much space you can have to protect you. And 90% of these people are 90% of these people are family people, but they are making videos for the individual. They're not making videos or talking about families. A lot of people in end times and in SHTS situations find their family. And that in itself is going to cause major problems. What's up, Ghosty Poo? How you doing, Ghosty Poo? I know you like this, don't you? Look at that. Look at this gray. Look at this gray. Ooh. Hey, Terry. How you doing, brother? But in the reality of everything, 90% of people in the world is not a lone wolf. 90% of the people in the world are going to have a family with them. They're going to be toting around. It's not going to be you, lonesome doving it out there. Oh, I know that feeling, Ghost, brother. I know that feeling. We can all wish and say that we're as healthy as a 20-year-old, and we can bareback, a mountain lion and travel off into the wilderness and survive. You need to throw those ideas out the door, because when you're out playing Weekend Warrior and playing, bushcrafting house out in the wilderness during a perfect scenario, you don't know how it is to actually survive. When you can go to the grocery store before you go out to your end of the world area, and you can grab T-bone steaks and you can grab whatever you want and make hamburgers on a grill. That's not training. That is not learning. That is not putting your body through what it needs to be. Most people have a strict budget that they have to live by. A lot of people that's on disability, Social Security, food stamps, living check to check on a weekly basis you don't need to listen to a person that's making 6 figures a year and not having to worry about money. You need to learn on your own. Right, Eli, right. Yeah, it is glamping, CR. It truly is glamping. These survival courses and all this stuff. You know what? You can even go to the Pathfinder Association. You can go to the Pathfinder Survival School. Pay $500 for a weekend, man weekend with a bunch of other guys. But you know what? they're not training you in true skills. They're not training you in mentality. They're not training you in how your body's going to react when you haven't ate for 3 days. Correct. If you're not ready when it happens, that's a problem. Most people, most preppers and everything are prepping for the worst, but they've never experienced the worst. Right, Ghost, right. Yes, that is so fucking true. That is so true right there. Trying to build a shelter, trying to make a camp after you've already walked 50, 60 plus miles with a, 50 to 75 pound backpack with all your stuff in it. And you got to make camp. You have to cut down trees, or you have to find good enough trees that have fell to make a lean-to. All this stuff, it's bullshit. You don't have time in real SHTF to be going around glory living. You don't have that time. You don't have that. You don't have the time. You don't have the stamina. And definitely, if you look at 90% of survivalists or preppers on YouTube, they all do this. They all smoke. And I bet you anything, they're smoking a pack to 2 packs a day. How are they going to handle anything in a real life situation smoking this, acting like they're building, this gigantic man cave out in the middle of nowhere? How you doing, Ron, brother? Right, Ghost. Yeah. Right, Dale. Nobody can train for the mental problems that's going to come. Nobody can survive the anguish. Most people in today can't even stand a broken bone, let alone a sprain, let alone, a splinter in their finger. How do you think they're going to go out in the woods where there's thorns, there's poison ivy, everything out there that's going to make your day shit? Yep, that is true, Ghost. But in all reality, I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting burned out of the survival community. Maybe I'm getting burned out of the prepper community because there's only so much you can teach anymore without actually showing pain, showing determination, and you can't really show that in a video of how stressful a situation is. Right, CR, it does. That's why we ended up building fucking houses. That's why we ended up cultivating and taming fire, is because the wilderness is a major witch with a capital B, and she doesn't forgive, and she doesn't care about you. Nature is going to continue on being nature, whether you survive or you don't, because your body is going to be meat for some other animal or human in end times. Oh yeah, brother. Yeah, you will. I'm tired. I don't know. I'm I'm seriously tired of these glorified people that seriously don't have the skills to find their own ass, you know? Like, I'm right with you on that, Ghost. I'm right with you on that, brother. And people think I'm kidding and everything when I say cannibalism is going to run rampant in SHTF. People think I'm joking about that, but I'm not. Do the math. If you are in a 20-acre woodland outside of a small town or a major city, everybody is starving. There is over a million people here in San Antonio. Okay. Everybody here in San Antonio knows how to hunt, knows how to use a gun. In a 20-acre swooth, spot of, nature, how many deer do you think is in a 20-acre lot? Maybe 50, maybe 40, depending on where you're at, where you're located. Okay, you have 50 deer, right? There's 1,000 people in that small, county that you live in. Everybody there, yeah, maybe 40, yeah. There's 1,000 people there, all starving. You think everybody's going to be able to have a deer, and you think everybody's going to share a deer with everybody else when they drop one? No, they're not. And if you're near that deer when it drops, they're going to take you out too. You are the next person on the menu. I mean, it may not turn to cannibalism in the first year, but 5 years down the road after SHTF, people are going to start killing others and start eating others. Bitter and leathery. You still make a good stew. Good stew, Shire. Some herbs and spices. You'll be fine. Oh, what was his name? It was a pirate. Captain something. I don't remember his name. But he stored tanned leather on his ships, and he boiled it and ate it as a means to eat, as a rationing for himself. Hey, Warlord, how you doing? Right, Dale. Right. And it's just like all these people that have all these herbalism books, that have all these, wild edible books. You know how much wild edibles you need to actually fill your stomach? You need more. You need about 5 pounds of wild edibles to fill your stomach. You know how much 5 pounds is of greens? That's almost like 5 hours of scavenging and hunting to have one meal. Hey Danny, how you doing? Maybe Shire, I don't remember. But the thing is, you lost your blue. Oh, I'm sorry, Eli, brother. But the thing is, there's been thousands and thousands of SHTF situations in the world throughout history. There's been thousands of them. And we have always came back. Humans have always came back, crawled out like cockroaches from an abandoned house or cockroaches from a garbage can. We have always came back. I'm glad to hear that, Eli. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Ghost. Yeah. I mean, it like what Ghost said. This is what I've been saying forever. After the collapse of society, when medicine is very rare, and here's the thing: if we lose power or anything like that, any cold medicine like insulin, a lot of type 1 diabetics are going to die. And yeah, most infections from scrapes, cuts, the common cold killed thousands. The common cold still today kills thousands every year. The common cold has killed more people than COVID ever thought of. And we all ran around like, idiots because of COVID. Eli. Right, Eli. Yes. Even your medicine, even your melatonin, what is it called? Melatonin or whatever that type 2 diabetics take, that's going to run out. And you know what the worst is in life? Is being high blood sugar and trying to survive. Where you're constantly throwing everything up because your blood sugar can't be controlled. And these people that say, oh, save water, all this stuff and everything. No, if you're a diabetic, you need to be by an abundant source of water, especially in SHTF, because that is the main thing you're going to be drinking. And if you have high blood sugar, you're going through at least 3 liters of water in a 24-hour period, if not more, if you have high blood sugar. Yeah. And all of that medicine is not going to be created anymore. Every form of medicine is going to be wiped off. Oh yeah, I understand, Ghost. So the thing is, right now, if you wish to continue on and you have health problems, if you, like, type 1 diabetics right now can stock up on plenty of insulin from Walmart. Walmart sells the Humulin 70/30 blend. It's a straight up insulin that is both long lasting and fast acting. It's 70% fast acting, 30% long lasting. It's $25 a bottle. If you do have diabetes, you need to go to Walmart and start stocking up. And human insulin can last 3 years. Right, Ghost? Right, yeah. See, that's what I'm saying, Ron. That's what I'm saying. Well, I mean, do you blame the government for trying to kill off the government, to kill off humanity? I mean, you got to think, in the United States alone, Eli, there is more babies being born every minute of the day than elderly dying. Before, it used to be elderly were dying before babies were born. The thing is you have people, and it's true, okay? It's true. Hate me, burn me for it, whatever. I don't give a crap. But when you have families, 100 years ago, when you can say, like, my father's family. Okay, my father's family had 8 kids. All right, 4 daughters, 4 sons. The reason why is because they had a farm and they needed hands to work on the farm and the dairy to make it run. But now, in 2023, why does a family need fucking 8 to 12 kids? Why? And in a 20-year span, those 12 kids are going to have, with that mindset growing and everything, those kids are going to have at least 5, each one of those kids. What's 5 times 12? Five times 12? It's like 60 something. It's like 60, I think. That's 60 other people in a 20-year span. In a 40-year span. Yeah, 60. Yeah, that's what I thought. Thank you, CR. In a 40-year span, that 60 is going to grow. And that's from one family. One family. In a 40-year span, one family can create 60 to maybe 100 new people in 40 years. Yeah. I mean, if you look at anywhere in Texas, and I'm not picking just on Hispanic people, Catholics, the crackhead, the white crackhead down the street, in Florida, there was a guy that was arrested and everything because he has 50 kids. One guy has 50 fucking kids with like 10 different women. 50. Right, CR. That was great, Ghost. That's great. Yeah. Right, Shire. But you have to realize all those mouths need to be fed. All those mouths need to be fed and continuously producing food for those mouths. The world is too overpopulated. The world, the inhabitants of the world, there's no rules on it. Yes, you did, Ghost. Yes, you did, brother. This is the stuff that most survivalist channels, most prepper channels don't want to touch on because they're too snowflaked. You always get me to crack and laugh, Ghost. But you know, these other survivalist channels and prepper channels and everything, they don't want to talk about real world problems. They don't want to talk about the real reasons why the world is hurting the way it is. I mean, the Euphrates River has been running for thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years, and it's drying up. It's drying up. Why? Because everybody in the fucking, you know, 3 country region is drinking from it. Yeah, I understand, CR. It's good to always have at least 4 months supply. It's true. It's always good to have a 4 month supply in case anything ever happens. But in SHTF and everything, most people don't have a 4 month supply. Most people that are actual preppers, per se, or people that just like to blow money like they're stupid, have at least a 2 to 3 year stockpile of food. Because, yeah, yeah, CR. Water is life. Water is literally the life of this planet. And we're running it dry. And we're not even looking at alternative options. I mean, hell, even the Middle Eastern countries are going to the Antarctic, paying millions of dollars for boats to go to the Antarctic and bring back icebergs to have fresh water to their outlining tribes because their whales are drying up. For a country to pay millions of dollars just to bring icebergs to drink is saying something. And we're not looking at alternative options. We care more about putting a fucking rocket in space and sending it to Mars than how to purify salt water and use that to drink. Why? Yeah. You know, most places can't do a water catchment in the States, CR. And if they do allow it, they only allow us a minimum of like 50 Well, I'm back. How much does 3 years of food weigh? Yeah, it depends really. I mean, it depends on if you used, dehydrated food, if you stockpiled dehydrated food, if you stockpiled MREs. I mean, Ghost, you know how bulky MREs are. Um, I mean, it depends. Hey, Sophie, how you doing, sis? Thank you, sis. You be careful out there. People need to learn how to. People need to learn how to actually camp, Shire. People need to actually learn how to set up a tent. I mean, hell, it's 2023. They have throw on the ground pop-up tents that are already ready to go. You don't have to set it up. You don't have to put tent stakes in it. You don't have to do anything. Well, I mean, you have tent stakes into the ground, but I'm talking about like the tent poles and stuff. It already comes pre-assembled. You just throw it on the ground and it pops up like, a jack in the box. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, CR. Everything that can make a dollar will make a dollar. I mean, it's the truth, People think it's a glorified game. Most people think survivalism, prepping, stuff like that is just that, a game. Yeah. Oh yeah, Dale. Look how much camping has evolved. Let's take a step back. Let's look and see how much camping has evolved in the past, let me say, when I was in Boy Scouts and everything, the last 20 years, how much camping and outdoor stuff has evolved. How you know, it's not just, I mean, you can buy a freaking fan for your tent that's solar powered. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Nobody knows how to pack. Nobody knows how to, because these are skills that aren't needed anymore. Most people, it's like my coworker. My coworker just went to Vegas. Okay. And he came into the office and everything, picked up his check, and he said, "Well, I'm going to Vegas." I was like, "Where's your bags and everything?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't need it." I was like, "Why? You're not packing clothes, you're not packing anything?" And he's like, "No, everything I need I can either buy at the airport or I can buy at Vegas. There's a Walmart around every corner." People don't need people don't need to do anything. They can just hop in a car and go. That's how the world is anymore. It's not like it used to, that you had to have a map, you had to have all this stuff, you had to, you know, hey Fluffy brother, how you doing? I'm doing good, brother. How about you? Saw your new haircut. I like it. How was Vegas? Sorry I couldn't go. But camping has evolved so much. than what it used to be. You know, you can now buy literally a pup tent for $20, and it's so lightweight that you can just throw it in a backpack and go. Sounds like a plan, brother. Yeah, Dale. You know, I mean, there wasn't there. You know, you didn't have a basic first aid kit like you can pick up at the dollar store now. You know, 20 years ago, you didn't have that stuff. When you went to go get a first aid kit, it was one of those big blue metal, metal tins. They didn't have survival kits. They didn't have, you know, any of this stuff as you do today. They didn't have, they didn't have ready to eat meals that you could take and, throw 5 or 6 into the bottom of your backpack and go. Oh yeah, brother. Oh yeah. So do I, CR. So do I, brother. I mean, everything has changed dramatically. And it started really changing the scene after, not Katrina, but the one that hit Florida back in the 90s. Right, Shire? Yeah. And see, that's what I'm saying. Like, the rules and everything has changed so much too. Like, I'm in a state that I'm lucky that I can carry any kind of blade that I want to on my side. Yes, Hurricane Andrew. Yes, thank you, CR. Mm-hmm. Yep, 92. Yep. That was the one that actually put a shitload of people into survival mode. That's dang it, Fluffy. Dang it, brother. But the things, and then, then what happened with Katrina? Katrina really hit the world hard. I mean, with all the fire, wildfires and everything that's happened out in California and everything, you didn't see the change in survival equipment or anything until after Katrina, truly. After Katrina, where people were literally stranded on their rooftops and nobody could get to them because of alligators and all this stuff that was floating around in the water. That made survivalism an eye-opener. Like, most people didn't even have water to drink. Most people didn't have food. You can go a month without food. But you can only go 3 days without water. Love you too, brother. You take care, all right? Be careful out there. Tell Jen I said hey. But survivalism really didn't kick off until, Bear Grylls. When Bear Grylls hit TV, That changed the face of survivalism. That changed a lot in the way companies could make money. I mean, look at the sales of Gerber when Bear Grylls took on that title. You know? Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, Ron brother. Right, Shire? Right, brother. Give me a second, I'll be right back, okay? Alright, I'm back, y'all. Sorry about that. Work called and everything. Ugh. So, survival and prepping on a budget. After my go through of all this stuff and ranting and raving and all this, yeah, I heard about that, Ron. Yeah. And for females out there, they brought back like the medieval period underwear. Like, it's a SHTF item for preppers and stuff, but it's a absorbent, like, cotton thing in a female's panties, and they bleed into it, and then wash it out. Yeah, so prepping and survival on a budget. Yep. There's a lot of things you can do because we're not all made out of money. We're all not freaking Canadian prepper that can have every name brand Lamborghini survival item on the market. Most of us, we're not sponsored by people. We're not sponsored. We're not given free stuff. I'm definitely not. I know CR isn't. I know Dale isn't. None of us are. We have to spend our own hard-earned money on this. Okay? And I'm not a person, and I love my brother Shadow. You know what I'm going to say, CR. I cannot buy a $1,000 knife. I can't. I have the skills and everything to turn a dollar, a flea market knife into a good forever knife. There's a difference between being smart and savvy and being rich and dumb. Oh yeah. Oh, I understand. I understand, Dale. Trust me, I do. Ron. Oh, that's great. Oh yeah. I mean, to tell you the truth, and I don't know how it is in Canada, but I know like in the UK they have what's called boot sales. And what, Shire? Tell me. What will happen, brother? Eli. Well, you'd taste some good. You'd probably taste good, Eli, with some mole on you. Some mole. What's up, Josh, brother? How you doing? Are you home or you still working, bro? But in the reality of everything, you can get by on dirt cheap. You can. But also dirt cheap, you can also buy the exact same stuff on Amazon for just the same price. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Shire. Yeah. In the first survival situation, I was in a survival group with some guys. And a guy didn't know what Tinder was. And he got on his phone and he said, "Hey Google, what's Tinder?" You know what Google told him? Tinder is a gay dating app. Would you like to know more about it? And I just busted out laughing when Google told him that. Oh, geez. Yeah. You burn good with that Tinder. I hope you're getting the brakes fixed and everything on it, brother. because you don't need that shit going out. But Kijiji here in Canada, is that what it's called? Yeah, Tinder the date site. Yeah. I just busted out laughing at that dude. That was like, you got your answer on what Tinder is? Yeah, because you got a truck, right? You has a 4x4, your brake pads and your what are they called? Brake pads and routers. I'm not a mechanic, so sorry. Yeah. Gotcha, CR. Ah, oh, you got the Rogue. Okay, it shouldn't be that expensive. Ah, Tommy's got the truck. That's it. Okay. See, I could see Tommy being more of a SUV kind of guy. But anyways, back to it. 90% of stuff in survival prepping you can buy off of Amazon for dirt cheap. Yeah. Secondhand, used items. Secondhand and used, like, shops. Like Goodwill. I do a lot of Goodwill shopping. I do. Back to Tinder. Yes. Rotors. That's it. Thank you, Shire. Routers, rotors. Same difference. Potato. Yeah. I mean, like Goodwill wants to charge eBay prices on a lot of their stuff. Like, there was a Katadyn filter. I didn't know if it was good. I didn't know if it was used, anything. It came with everything in the little pack and all this stuff. And they wanted $142. I mean, if you know anything about Katadyn, like, they're expensive. They're like between $300 and $400 for a water purifier. I mean, but they were wanting eBay prices for that Katadyn filter. Yeah, yard sales. Yard sales is the best area. One man's junk is another man's treasure. Right, Dale. Right. You know, you can make so much useful items just out of your... Most of the time, you can make a damn good survival kit out of your junk drawer, out of your closet, out of your garage. You know, I tell people every day, look at your house first. Look at every nook and cranny that you have and see what you have before you go spending money on things you may or may not need. Because that's the one fear people have. The fear people have is not having the item that they need when they need it. Yeah. I found a $300 wool blanket from Minnesota at Thrift Town, a secondhand shop, for $3, and it's like worth $300 on eBay. Right, CR, right. Don't, and the one thing that I tell people is don't fear buy. If you've never used a ferrocerium rod. Don't buy a ferrocerium rod. Why do you need a ferrocerium rod if you've never used one before? If you don't know anything about it? 90% of people that don't know how to use a ferrocerium rod will go and buy a $200 ferrocerium rod because it's got a custom, custom carved handle and everything, and they'll end up breaking it. And it's the same thing. If you know how to flick a lighter, you have instant fire. Fire is that fire. If you don't have the skills, if you don't have the patience to use ancient techniques, don't spend a dime on doing it. Right, CR, right. If you need an axe, you can go to a recycling yard and you can find 500 axe heads. It's easy to put an axe head on a axe handle. I mean, it's simple. There's how to do there's how to do's on YouTube. There's how to do, how to head an axe, and that's how you call it. You head an axe. The hell was that? Groot. Right. Well, yes and no. I mean, if you've never used an axe, don't buy one, because you don't want to be out in the middle of God knows where and you try to fall an oak tree and you come at an angle and it ricochets off and plants into your shin. I mean, it's these are the problems that a lot of people are a lot of these so-called survivalists are going to die from. I don't know, do y'all remember that episode of Naked and Afraid? No, not Naked and Afraid. Alone? Yeah, Alone. Where that girl was sitting with a axe, a small hatchet, and she was trying to split wood, and she was holding the log. Let me get she was holding a log like this, right? And she was coming down with it while she was still holding it in her hand. And she missed because she missed the wood because she didn't eat for like 4 days. And she caught a fish, so she was making a fire to cook the fish. But she was holding a log and trying to split it with a hatchet, and she missed the log, and it came down straight up onto her hand, severed the tendons and everything between her thumb and her forefinger. And those are the mistakes that people are going to make, and she was supposedly a experienced like lumberjack in Canada. But that's what I'm talking about. People do not think clearly when they haven't had food. Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, she thought she was sturdy enough. But it just happened. And that's what's going to happen to a lot of people that think they're survivalists, that think they have these skills. And we are human. We are human. We make mistakes every day. Yeah. Hands free, you can tie a rope around 2 twigs, you use it as a reverse tong and hold the log. There's hundreds of things you could have done. There's hundreds of things she could have done. But that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. We've all cut ourselves. We've all damaged ourselves in learning. But the thing is when we've hurt ourselves, we hurt ourselves in a controlled situation. In a real SHTF situation or a real end of the world situation, there's not going to be a controlled environment. There's not going to be I cut my thumb off, let me put it in a thing of ice and run to the ER and get it sewn back on. That ain't happening. Yep, that is true. That is true, Dale. I mean, cuts, scrapes, go with any bladed weapon. Well, any bladed tool. I can't believe I just said weapon. But you have to learn the basics. You have to learn the basics of survival. You have to learn layering if it's cold. Yeah. That's one thing most people don't understand, especially here in Texas. Most people here in Texas don't understand layering in the cold because it's hardly ever cold here. There was people dying in snow apocalypse that happened last year. But in reality of everything, you don't need a bug out bag. You don't. Unless, in reality of everything, a bug out bag is only if you're in an area that you have to escape from. That means people in major cities, people in apartment buildings, stuff like that. If you own your own house and you own your own land and you are away from major cities, there is no reason to make a bug out bag. There is a reason to make a get home bag. A get home bag is different than a bug out bag. A bug out bag is you're leaving for good. You're never coming back. A get home bag is about 3 days worth of supplies that will get you home. Yes, get home bag. It's a minimum kit. It's to get you home, to get you back to base, back to your castle, to where everything is, so you can figure out your next plan. And I hate when people keep talking about bug out bags. I'm tired of people saying that, because there's no point in it. Only for a select few. The select few is very few indeed. There's only a handful of people that live in apartments that are preppers. Right, Dale. Right. Yes, Shire. Yes, they have. I mean, like, my generation, okay? My generation is the last generation that actually can withstand, that have the antioxidants and everything in their body to withstand from dirt, grime, stuff like that. The last two, the two newest generations that came around, they have lost that immunity to dirt and grime. Oh yeah. Always keep a backup to your backup plan. No, Ron, no. I don't anybody that has the dedication and the willingness to learn is not a wannabe. There is no such thing as a wannabe in survival or, prepping. There's not. What there is in survival and prepping is blowhards. Blowhards are a different creature. You, Ron, are actually training. You are actually learning what to do. Most people, there's a survivalist channel, okay, on YouTube. He's an older guy, maybe mid 50s, early 60s. I'm not making fun of anybody, but he's overweight, okay? He's very overweight. He smokes a lot, and all he does is make bags. That's all he does. He's never once put any of his bags to use. He's never once tested any of his bags. They're just ideas that he's made. He did one video where he was going to try out his bag. And he was with one of his friends, and his friend was like, hey, let's climb up here and everything on these rocks and everything to this overhang and set up camp there. He's like, no, you can do that. I've got a bad knee. It'll give out if I try to climb up there, and it won't be a good thing if I do that. So it ended. He never used his bag or anything because he could not make it up to an ideal location. Oh, that's true. That's true, CR. Oh, yeah, Shire. Oh, I understand. But the thing is people need to stop. And I understand YouTube is a business. I understand this. I understand YouTube is a entertainment platform. YouTube is not a It's not an information thing. It's supposed to make people laugh. It's supposed to make people, forget their day. But it's getting to the point where they are taking real life stuff that will be needed one day. I'm not saying tomorrow. I'm not saying 10 years from now, 100 years from now. I'm not saying that. But one day it will be needed. One day this world will go to war with itself. And God help whoever's alive when that happens. Because it's not going to be pretty. Right, CR? YouTube likes to play games. And whatever YouTube can make a buck on, they will take it. But starting on a budget, if you have $5 to spare a month, I mean, literally $5 is a pack of cigarettes. $5 is a kid's meal. Right, CR? $5 can also get you 5 items you can put back and for an emergency. If you have a dollar store around, you can use that $5 to buy, 4 items and still have $1 left over to pay the taxes. You can buy a small, 1 pound bag of beans. You can buy a 1 pound bag of rice. Put it back. Hell, buy a thing of honey. Forever Foods. Yeah. Yeah, with inflation, yeah, I mean, anymore you can't do it, but you can't even buy a pack of cigarettes for $5 anymore. I mean, but, $5 is $5. Right. No taxes at yard sales either. No taxes at flea markets. There's ways, even if you are, even if you barely make enough money to survive, you can still, even if it's every 2 weeks, $5 every 2 weeks, that's still something that can be put back. That's still something that can be used when you need it. Yes, Grooty Groot. I'll be in there in a second, baby. That's my cat. Yeah. I've heard of him, Shire. It's just, like my boy Ray Mears. I loved Ray Mears. I loved him so much. He was like the Bob Ross. He was the Bob Ross of survival. He was a walking encyclopedia. You know, he was a good guy. He was. At least from the interviews and everything that I saw of him. I don't know him personally. I don't know him off camera. But from what I saw of him, he seemed like a really good person. And that's why I loved him so much. There was a thing about Ray Mears. Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, just because I bought his $300 knife and it broke on me doesn't mean I hate him. It just means that he endorsed a knife from a Chinese company and he didn't quality check it. That's pretty much all it meant. I mean, hell, there's YouTubers that have custom made, you know, knives made out of their channel. So I can't really knock Ray Mears or Bear Grylls or shit, Survivor Man, or these people on YouTube. If I had a chance, if I had an opportunity to have the Second Star Survival knife, you don't think I'd take that deal? Hell yeah, I would. Right, CR. It's just the gear, you know. It's not like he made it himself, you know. Hell, I've had $120 Gerber blades snap on me. I mean, it could have just been the tension of it that wasn't good. But the bad thing was I broke the blade trying to strike the back of it to create sparks in a survival situation. And when I hit it with the flint from behind onto the spine, as soon as I hit it, I heard like the crack. And as soon as I picked it up and everything, like I saw the crack go completely through it. And you can't fix that, you know. So I put it to rest, I broke the blade, and it was good to go. I mean, well, it was good to be put down. But, you know, that's... I agree 100% with you, CR. And that was why I liked Ray Mears so much. Because Ray Mears taught you how to survive on the cheap. He taught you survival skills from 1,000 years ago. He taught you how to make a survival matchbook from a shotgun shell. You know, he taught you how to make a tinder kit. He taught you how to do all this stuff. His knowledge and experience in the field made him a good guy. He wasn't as flamboyant. He wasn't handsome like, you know, Bear Grylls or, you know, anybody else. But when it came to the way he explained things, oh yeah, from the 80s, Shire, I remember what you're talking about, brother. Yeah, that thing was amazing. And also that hollow handle was also a water container. You could put water in it, and it was made to stick into the ground over the fire and boil the water inside the handle, and you drink out of it. I loved that knife. I loved it to death. But in reality of everything, there is a lot of good stuff on the market. There's a lot of good stuff and there's a lot of bad things. There's a lot of low quality breakable stuff. But there's also good cheap stuff that's low quality. Like on Wish, you can buy the pure magnesium rods on Wish. I bought like 6 magnesium rods from Wish for like $1.50. And if you have a magnesium rod, you don't need anything else. Yeah, Mora knives. Mora knives are amazing blades. I mean, you know, Mora's kind of like the, you know, the Victorinox, you know, like in quality wise. You know, you can buy the cheap, you know, the cheap hiker Victorinox or the camper Victorinox. Pay like $20, $30 for it. You can buy the basic Mora for $12. Is it full tang? No. That just means you can't beat the crap out of it. You have to have more skill with it. Hey, Mike, how you doing, brother? How you been? But, you know, like I was at Five Below. I don't know if if you have a Five Below or not up in Canada, but I was at Five Below and they have one of those pop-out tents for $15. Oh yeah, brother. I'm glad to hear that, Mike. But, you know, it's a simple spring pup tent. It's only for one person. It folds in a circle and it comes with its own little case. And it folds flat. It folds to like that thin. And it was $15 for it. I mean, Gerber is like, you know, like Charade and all those other big box knife companies, you know. You may have got the one good knife. You may have got that one good knife out of the whole entire thing, you know, and it's never gave you problems at all. And on the other hand, 5 other people could have had that same knife and just gave them problems, you know. That's why I say a knife calls to its owner, you know. Have you ever been to a knife shop or a gun show and you're just looking around and all of a sudden your eyes are drawn to that one item, you know? Nice, CR. Nice, brother. Was it one of the old wooden handle Moras? Because I see those a lot out here in Texas, is the old wooden handle Moras. It was like the Stub or something like that. But, Mora's been around for generations. Yeah, yeah. I see a lot of those wooden handle Moras. They're good knives as long as they take care of that wooden handle. Yep, yep. Yes, sir. I know what you're talking about, brother. It's everything. You can find anything and everything for dirt cheap anymore. Like secondhand stuff. A lot of people don't want to do yard sales anymore because too many people you can't trust anymore. You can't. There's too many bad people in the world anymore. Oh yeah, you can, brother. It's just a lot of yard sales. They have a lot of good stuff there, especially if you know what you're looking for. That's the key thing, is knowing what you need. Making a list of your top priorities that you need. Don't just go out and spend. Because if you do that, you're becoming like, don't take any offense to it, but you're becoming like the rest of us. You're becoming a survival hoarder. Nice, Mike. That's good information, because mosquitoes love the hell out of me. I have type O blood, so they're attracted to me like crazy. Sorry. Yeah, impulse buying is. Yeah. Yep, that's true also, Shire. That is true also. It's yard sales, boot sales, all that stuff is very is beginning to be a thing of the past anymore. It just is. Nobody wants to let go of stuff anymore. Memories and being attached to certain stuff and memories, and I understand. Yep. Oh yeah, I do that a lot in CR. All my hunting and fishing gear and everything that I need, I buy it all off season when it just goes flat out. Yep. Facebook, Let Go, Craigslist, a lot of that stuff, a lot of that. A lot of that is good places to turn to now. But jeez, give me a second. All right, everybody, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to go. Oh yeah. I go to a lot of the, a lot of the recycle centers and stuff like that. You find a lot of good stuff in, like, scrap metal yards and everything. But I got to get off here, everybody. Work's calling me. So I love you, family. Y'all take care. And I will see y'all again. All right. Love you, fam. Take care. Bye, everybody.